Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you can be listening to right here, youtube.com/Stephen Larson, available wherever fine podcasts are. Be sure to hit that subscription button and the notify bell next to it. You never know, YouTube might be trying to deny you your new Going In Raw content. Ooh, today is the Thursday, the 2nd of November.
Yes.
And guess what? There is a massive sale right now on all of our shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/goinginraw. 15% everything. Use the promo code.
15% off everything.
15%. What did I say?
You said 15 everything.
15 everything. No, 15% off everything. That's weird. In my brain, I thought I said 15% off.
Sick. I can't hear very well out of this ear.
Oh, man.
It's got all plugged up.
Yeah,
it could be my fault.
I'm going to be like Wendy Williams. And
I should probably go to a doctor at some point.
Fainting on air. You should, I know.
I'm going on 4 weeks being sick.
Hey, speaking of going to a doctor.
What?
You know what yesterday was? It was the beginning of open enrollment.
Yes.
Go to health. What is it?
I need to do that too. It's healthcare.gov.
That's right.
Or if you're in California like us, Covered California.
I think the deadline for healthcare.gov is December 15th.
Yeah, but that's extended later for California. It might depend on the state because some states have their own marketplace. And there's a federal marketplace that covers other states.
But anyways, you can get like super cheap insurance. I read somewhere that like one in every 1 of every 8 people can get insurance for like less than, I don't know, a couple bucks a month, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not as good as our former president in explaining things.
Yeah, it used to be policies you can get for like $30 a month.
Here's my thing, man. I remember it's kind of an important issue to me. Number one, I got a family. I'm lucky enough. My wife, she works for the post office, and so she gets benefits. We get health insurance for that. I remember we got laid off. I was kind of freaked out for you because you're the breadwinner of the family.
Yeah.
But thanks to the Affordable Care Act, you're able to
afford health insurance.
Exactly. So your family's covered.
Yes.
Yeah. So make sure you get out and do that.
So I need to take advantage of that affordable health care either tomorrow or this weekend.
I know. My goodness.
And make sure something serious isn't going on with old Larson here.
You should vlog it on your new channel. Is it going to be youtube.com/joy of bearding?
It's not going to be anything, Steve.
Really?
I have one YouTube channel. It's Stephen Larson.
Well, that's ours.
No, I know.
Is that a subtle dig at me?
No, it's not.
For dedicating some of my energies to my YouTube channel.
I'm dedicating all of my energies to our YouTube channel.
I feel like that's kind of a subtle dig.
It wasn't a dig.
You're throwing some shade at me.
No shade.
Anyways.
Stop.
Anyways. Patrick Sparks on our Patreon chat. Patreon.com/Stephen Larson. You can participate in these live streams whenever we do a podcast. For the recaps, we invite our patrons in, the $5 and up per month mark. Patrick Sparks is asking about, he says, what's this insurance I need?
Healthcare.gov.
Healthcare.gov. Patrick Sparks, it's very, very affordable. You'll be good.
What?
Insurance is a waste of money.
Oh.
It really isn't, man. Just wait till something happens to you.
Yeah.
All right, anyways, let's talk about, what are we talking about today? 205 Live and NXT. Yeah, 205 Live was fun, but man, it was
tons of fun.
It was really dumb, but it was really fun.
Completely inconsequential, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was cool. So let's talk about that.
NXT was not that great. It was short. It was short for NXT. It was 10 minutes shorter than 205 Live. It was 47 minutes long.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's one of the first things I do when I watch both 205 Live and NXT because the length of the shows vary week to week.
Sure.
Whereas I know Raw and SmackDown pretty much exactly how long they're going to be.
Yeah, sure.
So I know how much time I have to dedicate in my evenings, my Wednesday evenings to watch wrestling. So I always pay attention to that.
Yeah.
205 Live was about 57 minutes, whereas NXT was about 47 and a half.
Right.
10 minutes shorter than usual, and it felt like it. It felt like it needed some more heft to it.
Yeah.
It was very slight.
Yeah, but okay, so NXT, you're right about that. There's some good stuff going on. And the end, even though I had, we literally did a daily episode about it like a month ago, so I knew exactly what was going to happen. The execution and the reaction of the participants involved with the announcement that was made
great.
about Wargames,
Especially Adam Cole's
fit was so
face.
I had chills. The way Regal delivered that announcement, I had chills.
Well,
I marked out.
He did it step by step, and as you heard the portions of fans realize what he was going towards.
Yeah.
With every little detail he was disclosing.
Yeah.
When he said 2 rings and you hear the first major pop, people realize, oh, snap.
Yeah.
He's talking about War Games.
Yeah.
And then he said surrounded by a cage, and other people are like, oh, snap. He's talking about War Games.
Yeah.
And then he said War Games, and
War
thankfully
Games
they had the logo ready.
Yeah.
So this was a well thought out plan.
It was so well done, but that's going to be at the end of what we're talking about. Let's start at the beginning with, what's it called?
205 Live.
205 Live, that's right. Are we going to keep on covering the show?
Yes.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Because this is the first episode where I didn't necessarily feel like I missed Neville. They kept me entertained enough for the whole hour that I missed Neville.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like this all that often. I don't know. Look, if they bring in the new names that we had heard about it, then maybe.
You know why? Because Enzo wasn't on the show. There's no Enzo. There's no Kalisto.
Oh, there's no Kalisto. That probably is the main thing.
So it's all focused on the undercard, and I vastly prefer what's going on in the undercard in 205 Live as opposed to the main event scene.
I was so enamored this week of Mustafa Ali that I started rebranding him in my head because I feel like his outfit is kind of cheesy. I'm not huge on his outfit, but he's got a great look.
Oh, he comes off as so personable too.
He's got a great charisma. You're right. He comes off as super personable, but he looks cool. That's my thing. Got to look cool.
Yeah, he does look cool.
He looks really cool.
He does look cool.
I'm just not huge on the outfit. So I don't know. I was thinking, man, how could
I think if he just lost the top.
How about this? Yeah, I know. That's step one for sure. How about this? Tatted up, a Pepsi tattoo here, a Cobra Commander tattoo here.
If you continue this line of thought, I'm just going to get up and leave.
Listen, man. Besides Dick Cavett, who is cooler than CM Punk?
I could probably think of a few people.
Freddie Mercury. David Bowie, and that's it. Why am I on yesterday's notes? Come on, man.
I don't know, because you didn't start this show prepared.
What
I
happened?
have notes. The show kicked off with Drew Gulak.
Oh, I like him.
Dropping a promo. Yeah, he's great. He's always great. And he had a new PowerPoint presentation. Drew Gulak's plan for a better Halloween.
Oh,
this is what Halloween would be like in his Drewtopia.
I kind of feel like the Drewtopia and the Larstopia, I think they're kind of the same thing. I can see, because he's like no candy.
I don't have a problem with candy. I just don't need it personally.
But yeah, that's the thing, no candy. If you want everybody to live your philosophy, which I kind of think deep down you do.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah, like you made a subtle dig at me earlier in the show.
There's no dig. I misspoke.
I kind of feel like...
So like I didn't really throw up a too sweet. I was pointing and it looked like a too sweet.
You want to give me one now?
Not going to
show the people that you're not... If you want to prove that it wasn't a dig at me, give me a too sweet.
No.
No too sweet? Really? Can I too sweet your beard?
I'll cough on your hand.
That's okay. I've been living in your cough all week long. Anyways, this was great. Drew Gulak's plan for a better Halloween. I like that he had his face on a pumpkin.
Yeah,
that was cute.
And he likes to point out that he creates all these PowerPoint presentations.
And his vocal buildup. What is that?
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. Drew Gulak is a freaking treasure. Everybody,
he really is.
He's great.
So the first 2 slides of this PowerPoint presentation: no candy. No trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
And then before we get to slide 3, Akira Tozawa's music hit.
He was running down kids with bad teeth. And I don't think he fat-shamed anybody, but he was talking about bad teeth. People are careful about fat-shaming these days.
Tony Nese got the closest when you started calling people slobs.
Yeah, he did. Oh, I love Tony Nese, too.
He's great.
God dang it, he's great.
I love this. It's such a small detail when he opens up his vest by flexing his pecs.
That's great.
It's fantastic.
It's so awesome. Drew Gulak versus Akira Tozawa.
Good match. Fun match.
This is a really fun match. Man, I can never get enough of Akira Tozawa's suicide dives when he goes just head first.
Oh, I know. It's a flying headbutt through the ropes.
They're great. They're fantastic.
So, like every face they had on the card last night.
Yeah.
That's like, man, they'd be so much better taking on Enzo. Every single one of them has way more charisma and is just as good in the ring as Kalisto.
I know. Like if I'll put it this way, if they all had matches in PWG, I could maybe see if Kalisto was the standout guy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But given that they're in the WWE doing things a certain way, you're right. There's much more parity, and They all have more charisma.
Oh, yeah.
Across the board.
I was noticing, I've noticed this for a while about specifically Mustafa Ali, but some of the other competitors, that I feel like they're asked before the matches, slow it down a bit. Because I feel like Mustafa Ali is, like in terms of the transition, move to move, is probably running about 75% of what he can actually do.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's way faster than... I felt that way about Seth Rollins.
Hey, but you know what? I agree with you on that. One thing to point out, too, Wrestling Observer had the ratings for the network, and 205 Live, number 5.
Yeah.
Number 5. That's fantastic. That's really, really stinking cool, man.
I know.
And, I mean, it's rare that you can actually point to the WWE saying, hey, let's do this, and let's see if this works.
I know, translates pretty immediately into results.
Wow.
I know.
This did, you know? I mean, it's a bummer in the respect that, well, we don't have Neville. But at the same time, like, you know, if it sort of bolsters...
I wonder what would happen if Neville had said, I'm going to write out this Enzo feud, see what happens.
Yeah.
And then if he were co-responsible for this uptick in ratings, I know Enzo is going to get most of the credit.
If you ever had more leverage?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just want Neville back.
Yeah, I want Neville back too. No, I want him back too. I if he comes back, I want him on the main roster.
Oh yeah,
but I want him to be happy.
Anyways, Akira Tozawa picked up the win over Gulak with the top rope senton. Fun match. All the matches last night or Tuesday night were super fun.
Yeah, they're really good. I'm very very happy. Like, look, here's the thing. 205 Live is not perfect. There are some things that I would love to see that I think would make the show more exciting. But I'm willing to be patient with that.
Yeah.
And if the ratings stay the way they are, then we're safe in those guys keeping their jobs and us being able to enjoy the show.
And you know, we're not huge fans of what they're doing with the title scene.
Yeah.
But I think we both enjoy enough of the undercard talents.
Yeah,
keep us invested in the show.
Yeah, well, they do enough things. So take, for example, this next Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander backstage. Oh, I thought it was on the match already. So Cedric was basically telling Rich Swann, you know, you can't let people run you down like that. You know, why are you cool with Gallagher and Kendrick calling you a clown? And then Rich Swann's like, well, what am I supposed to do about it? And then Cedric Alexander produces a clown's nose.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, what are they going to do? And
I think Cedric said, they want a clown?
Yeah.
Let's give them a clown.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was kind of setting up for a heel turn.
I know, me too. I'm on Cedric heel turn watch.
I know, I kind of am too.
2017.
Like here, Rich go out there dressed as a clown.
Yeah.
And then somehow I'll inadvertently cost you the match.
Yeah.
And then proving kind of in at least Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher's minds that they are correct.
It's going to be a bad year for Rich Swann if another friend turns on him.
I know.
Because he already had TJP. He lost that friendship.
I know. Well, and Brian Kendrick and him were supposed to be... Is that when that was some of the backstory of their match too, wasn't it? Or am I imagining? No, I'm thinking of TJP Kendrick. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, then we had Mustafa Ali promo talking about growing up in Chicago and going out for Halloween. And how I guess that in his area it was not safe to go out. Is that what you got?
That's what I put together too. Yeah.
Right. I mean, areas of Chicago are known to be a bit on the violent side. Evidently, he grew up in one of those areas, and but he said, "I always knew to get my candy."
Yeah,
and he lifted up his
had
thing,
a bucket.
It honestly kind of confused me because I was like, "Wait a second."
But he delivered it with enough charisma that I was into it.
I didn't really care exactly.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know what you mean, because how did you get candy if you had to go dodge bullets? I didn't really know what he meant. But he seemed like, I mean, I love candy. He loves candy. Connection made.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I guess based on this episode, I have more in common with Tony Nese.
I guess you do, yeah. I thought that actually watching it. I was like, oh, he's like Larson. What a bastard. Next up, we
had the announcement that at Survivor Series, it won't be a 5-on-5 cruiserweight battle. It'll be Enzo versus Kalisto. Didn't they already announce at first it was going to be an elimination match for the between the cruiserweights? I thought they announced that. They at least alluded to it when they had that match on Raw that had Team Lucha against the Zoe Train.
I relied on you for that one because I was like, I remember specifically being like, yeah, I don't want to see this. I don't want these people on Kalisto's team. And you're like, no, that's the Survivor Series team. And I was like, really? They said that? And you're like, yeah, they said that.
I thought they did.
So sometimes I think that, look, you have good ideas. You have some very good ideas. And
I really want that idea to come to fruition.
I just think you think your ideas are like happening.
Could be.
We don't really live in that world,
delusional
man.
about my fantasy booking.
That's the end of the road for you, man. Next up, we had Brian Kendrick versus Rich Swann. What was this, like a 60-minute match? This is a really long match.
3 matches on the show, a ton of time.
This is great, man. It was really long. So
it started out with a lot of comedy spots because Rich Swann was dressed as clown.
They were both dressed as clown. Well, Rich was full clown. Cedric was clown face.
Yeah.
And Rich came out to the clown music and Titantron.
Package, yeah. And so there's a lot of comedy spots, but as the match progressed, no more comedy spots. It got super intense.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So by the end, it was a pretty hard-hitting affair. Jack Gallagher got tripped up on the apron. It took a really rough landing.
Yeah, he did. The crowd kind of was like, ooh.
Yeah, on the apron, the edge of the apron.
Yeah.
But Rich Swann picked up the win with a Phoenix Splash, and I was worried he might have kneed Brian Kendrick in the face.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Kendrick wasn't really that far. I'm glad you mentioned that. He wasn't really that far out. And so when he hit it, man, it looked like,
looked like Rich Swann, to his credit, might have realized right before impact.
He course corrected a little bit.
He stuck his left leg out a bit.
Yeah.
And I think in an effort to avoid hitting Kendrick in the head.
Yeah, that could be nasty.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that with Kidman doing a shooting
Chavo
star.
Guerrero
and dropping his knee right on Chavo's head.
Not good. Next up, we had a Grand Metalik promo. I don't really care about him talking. I just want to see him walking.
I thought even this was entertaining.
I don't really remember what he said. What did he say?
It was
all in Spanish.
Yeah, but he's talking about Dia de la Muertos.
Ah, yeah.
And saying, I think
that means Day of the Dead.
Yeah, it was like either Halloween or the day after is the first day of it.
Mm-hmm.
And relating that to what he was going to do in the match. It was good.
Yeah, no, it was good stuff.
Main event, the Fright Night Fatal 4-Way. Saw Mustafa Ali versus.
Great.
It was tons of fun.
So what was the setup for the Fright Night Fatal 4-Way?
Trick or Street fight on Raw. They had pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns all around the ring, tables with candy. There was a bucket you could bob apples in.
Yeah.
Candy corn, kendo sticks. And they took there's skeletons on the
this was
ring post.
Ridiculously fun.
They took full advantage of all the toys at their disposal.
And the crowd was thoroughly into it.
Oh, yeah.
Because they understood how ridiculous it was. My favorite part is when they started chanting for the candy corn, and they did the spot where all the candy corn was it on the table or just on the ground? It was on the table. Yeah. And, and they're making it out like it's thumbtacks, And so Tony Nese ends up taking, I think, like a back body drop or something into the table from the top of Grand Metalik or something like that. And he goes through the table and he gets up and there's a bunch of candy corn stuck to his back. And it's like, it's not like it's Legos or thumbtacks.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal, but it's funny as crap that he's selling it like it's a bunch of thumbtacks.
Candy corn's pretty hard, man. They could hurt.
What do you need? You don't know anything about candy corn. You don't like candy corn. Get out of here with that. When
I was a child.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I still know the consistency of candy corn, especially if they're a little old. They get really hard.
If they're old.
Daivari dropped a pretty fun promo before the match, too.
Oh, that's right. God, I love Daivari.
I know, he's great. Mustafa Ali comes to the ring and tries to give everybody candy. Gives him the Grand Metalik. He lifts up his
That
mask.
was fun, yeah.
He gives it to Daivari, and at first Daivari's like, yeah, sure. Takes it, and then when Mustafa Ali turns his back, throws it. And Tony Nese won't have any of it.
He said, I don't want to be like these slobs over here. He said, there's 8 reasons why I don't need candy or something like that. I forget what he said. But
because it would, ruin his abs.
Yeah.
And so there's one spot in the match where Mustafa Ali shoves a candy bar.
Yeah, that's kind of became like a little story going on through the match as Mustafa Ali wanted to shove it.
There's a lot of little stories. Like Tony Nese, to wrap up his whole I don't eat candy bit, because, I'm the premier athlete. At one point, he picks up a pumpkin and starts doing sit-ups like a medicine ball.
Oh, that was great.
And he was chucking the pumpkins at Mustafa Ali, who's in the trio well. So Daivari would hand Nese a pumpkin. He'd do a sit-up and chuck the pumpkin.
That's in the thumbnail for this episode.
It was so much fun.
Oh, it was so great.
Then you mentioned the spot where early in the match, Tony Nese goes under the ring and brings out a bag, but we don't see what's in it. But the assumption is, yes, thumbtacks. Later on, he dumps it on a table, thinking they're thumbtacks. It was candy corn.
I like when Mustafa Ali got the witch's broom
out
from under the ring and then got up to the top, and he like flew the broom kind of landed on Tony Nese and got the
Daivari.
Oh, it was Daivari. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a leg drop, a broomstick leg drop.
Yeah,
it was great. There's a lot of fun spots.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. It was cool. Mustafa Ali is really sort of, it's hard to stick out from the pack sometimes, but he's really doing a heck of a job in terms of it. It's hard to stick out from the pack in terms of being like just a straight up babyface.
Yeah.
Because that's not really easy to do. No. You have to be insanely likable for you to really work as like a true babyface.
I know.
As opposed to like a tweener or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's got that. He's got a really infectious smile.
I know. I know.
So it's great. Let's talk about NXT.
Yeah.
I love NXT. Like you said, wasn't like the best episode, but I thought there was a lot of little things in here to enjoy. It started off with a match between Taynara Conti and Nikki Cross, of course, sort of finishing off their story.
Nikki Cross is winning that title at TakeOver.
Okay. The Mercedes Martinez interview doesn't make you change your mind on that.
Just because she brought up Ember Moon's.
I think that's going to be the story after Nikki Cross wins the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already teased an Ember Moon Ruby Riott program, and now they're kind of teasing one between Ember and potentially Mercedes Martinez. So it seems like Ember Moon's going to have her hands full. Or, I mean, you could look at this way that they're getting programs ready if Ember Moon happens to win the belt. But just the way Nikki Cross won that Battle Royal, getting this kind of mini feud with Conti out of the way. No one has as much momentum going into that match right now than Nikki Cross.
She is so loved. I freaking love her so much. She's so great. She's fantastic.
So she has to be the odds-on favorite right now.
Taynara Conti is a decent wrestler.
Yeah.
She just kind of she's figuring things out. She has she sort of when she tries to look intense. I noticed this when she came into the ring. Her face naturally ends up looking scared when she's trying to look intense.
I noticed that too.
Like she held up her black belt because she's a legit black belt apparently, which is very impressive. But she holds it up and her hand was shaking. And it might be a little bit of nerves or it might just be intensity. It could be one of the. But her face looked terrified.
Yeah, she probably was nervous.
Probably, but I think she needs to work on the mirror in trying to just show off some ferocity and not necessarily.
They say
she's 22.
Yeah, pretty
she's young
still.
Oh yeah, she's young. Yeah, huge upside, huge potential. She's great.
Nikki Cross won pretty easily with her swinging fisherman neck breaker.
I love that neck breaker.
Yeah, you love neck breakers, period.
I do.
Following that, the aforementioned Mercedes Martinez interview, where she spoke about her disappointment in losing the Battle Royal.
And then Christy McLeod asked her, I think that's her name, said, "Who do you think?" St. Cloud said, "Who do you think is going to win?" And she says, "I'll tell you who's not going to win. Ember Moon, because she can't win the big one." I was like, whoa, wow. So, what do you think? Nikki Cross picks up the title at a TakeOver.
That's what my gut is telling me, yeah.
Ember Moon comes up short a couple times. It's like the parallel Johnny Gargano thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, next up, look at that segue. Fabian Eichner, who's quickly making a name for himself in NXT, kind of, but he's kind of bland. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah, he's good.
Johnny Gargano is a great wrestler, but Fabian Eichner picked up the win after a fantastic match.
Yeah, I mean, good match.
Gargano is a flippin' amazing wrestler. That slingshot spear he does is great.
Oh, I love his springboard DDT thing he does.
Yeah. Too. Oh, my God. That's good, too.
He's really good.
Yeah. There was a lot of really, really good spots in here. It was a really hard-hitting match. But, yeah, Eichner won with kind of a roll-up type thing.
Yeah. So they're doing the story. Maybe they're doing the Crisis of Confidence storyline.
I think they're finally taking your advice.
So long. Someone is watching the show, Steve.
As long as he didn't lose to Riddick Moss or Sabatelli, I'm fine with that. They had a great bit in this too.
Yeah, they did.
But next up, we had the manly.
They were advertising a contract signing for the NXT title match, but rather than have the whole thing happen in the ring, they had this segment where Drew McIntyre was in William Regal's office. And himself and Regal signed the contract in there.
I have a huge bone to pick with this. At no point did Almas ever look Drew McIntyre in the eyes and say, "I want to fight." That was Drew's entire thing. That was his stipulation. He told Zelina Vega 3 times.
I know.
Look me in the eye and say, "I want to fight." He never did that.
I think what he was going to do is walk to the ring, contract in hand, ready to go, and say, come out here and look me in the eye, and I will give this to you to sign. That's just my guess.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I don't know anything about spoilers or anything. That's just my guess.
Yeah. Spoilers. Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they taped the upcoming episodes of NXT between now and the takeover yet, to see if that's actually what happened. I don't know. That would be my guess, though.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So yeah, he signs a contract for the NXT title match. I would have figured that the verbal "I want to fight you" would have come before the contract thing.
Yeah, but I think it's the situation. Drafted. Like, he literally goes out there and says, "Here's the contract, ready to go. All you have to do is ask."
Oh wow, okay.
And then I will give that to you. You can sign it when the match is on.
I got you. Okay, sounds good.
Again, just my own supposition.
Okay. Next up, we had a Street Profits promo.
Oh, this was great.
This was amazing. They were hanging out. They were like sort of vlogging, and they were saying, "Hey, here's the."
I can cover this if you need it.
Why don't you cover?
Yeah, I'll cover this. So the Street Profits are in the parking lot area of Full Sail, and they're say, "Hey, come check this out," and it's a white Maserati, and they're saying how awesome it is, and then they are approached by Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli.
This was
if you've
great.
Watched
Breaking Ground. Yeah.
You know that Sabatelli drives a Maserati.
Yeah, he's rich. He has a lot of NFL money.
He has NFL money.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I saw that Maserati, I'm like, oh, we're getting a Street Profits Moss and Sabatelli program now?
That's great. Number two, it was great because they referred to the car as our car.
Yeah.
Riddick Moss especially said, "This is our car."
Yeah,
I'm sitting there like,
no,
dude, this is not both of your cars.
Are they roommates now?
Are they like, yeah, did they, did Sabatelli get like sign? Are they both on the registration?
I know. Are they both on the pink slip?
Yeah. Are they that close now?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd like to know more about that. And it's funny because they never really addressed it, but Angelo Dawkins did say, "Wait, y'all's car." He actually seemed confused by it.
I know.
Montez Ford did not. I don't think he caught it. But Dawkins wanted to say something, I think, and I was waiting for him to say something about it. He never did.
I know. At least he pointed out the oddness of that statement.
Yeah, they didn't seem too offended by it, though. They just walked away and said, "Oh, okay, that's how it's going to be then." So, yeah, I don't know. They're just trying to look, man. They're trying to show you how to do the hustle, how to get your entrepreneurial ship going, and show the rewards of what can happen if you work hard.
Yes.
You know. That was a nice car, though.
Yeah, it was nice.
I wouldn't feel comfortable driving a car like that, dude.
Too much.
It's too much, man. I don't know how people
What's
do
the most you'd ever spend on a car?
Well, it depends.
Assuming money is no object.
If money is no object, I'd probably say...
Would you spend more than $100,000 on a car?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
No. But then, money's no object. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's
even if money was no object, I'd still feel...
It's too much attention.
Well, not just that, but like if I'm rolling around like a $300,000 car,
yeah,
even with top-notch insurance,
yeah,
I still know it's going to cost an arm and a leg to fix it, and just knowing that is going to make me self-conscious driving it.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to drive it because I don't want to damage it.
You know what I always think of when I see massive houses? Smud bills.
Oh, I think what a pain in the butt it's going to be to clean those houses.
Yeah.
That large, that many rooms.
But then if you have, we're so podunk, though. Like, if you have a house that big, you're making a lot of money, and, cleaning bills and smud bills really aren't that big of a deal.
Probably not.
Oh, man. Anyways, let's see here. Oh, yeah. So next was supposed to be the actual contract signing between Drew McIntyre and Andrade Cien Almas. Drew McIntyre comes out
sorry,
there.
I want to mention this. I was always in the impression that William Regal was a fairly tall man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the funny thing is
Drew towered over him.
I didn't realize. Well, no. Yeah, kind of. But you know that Regal was sitting for most of that signing stuff. Because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, my God, Drew is so much bigger than him. But then at the very end of that, Regal stood up, and I was like, oh, he was sitting down.
I didn't notice. That's weird, because he didn't look like he was sitting down.
I know.
Right?
I know. It was conceivable that Drew was that much taller than him. And then Regal stood up, and I was like, oh, so he's not that much taller than him.
Was he sitting like a bar stool?
I guess so,
Where his feet were resting on the ground?
He might have been sitting back. Yeah.
He didn't look like he was sitting.
Yeah, no, I'll show it to you after the thing.
Yeah, Regal's 6'3".
During the post show, I can show it to you. How tall is Drew?
6'6".
6'6". Okay, yeah. It was about 3 inches was about right.
No, but when
at
Regal
the
was
front,
down,
it was like a foot.
Yeah.
No, we'll watch it again during the post show. Patrons can see our reactions.
All right.
Oh man. Anyways, this was great, and I'll tell you why this was so great. So it wasn't just any ordinary attack. Almost attacked McIntyre while McIntyre was, preening on the ramp. Sometimes maybe that can be McIntyre's kind of Achilles heel, because everybody needs an Achilles heel. Maybe it's his confidence. Maybe it's his, self-assuredness that's going to bite him in the ass, because Almost just attacked him, laid him out. Great thing is when a smaller opponent attacks Drew McIntyre and immediately gets him on the ground, you don't really notice the height discrepancy.
Yeah.
And the best thing about this was the detail of Almas taking Zelina Vega's gum and using that to put on the back of the contract and stick it after he signed it onto
nice.
Drew.
That was well done.
That was great. That was fantastic. I loved that.
Drew did a great job selling the beatdown too.
And he really did, yeah.
He was coughing and wheezing at the top of the ramp. It was good.
He totally did. Next up, it says Karen says he was sitting on the desk.
Oh, that's why.
That makes sense. Yeah. Next up, can I just say it's not just that I love Peyton Royce. I love Billie Kay.
Yeah.
Their comedic timing
is impeccable,
and Billie Kay's ability to get ridiculous with looking how she does, because she looks very elegant. Like Peyton Royce is kind of goofy looking in the first place, but she does comedy very well. But Billie Kay, when Peyton Royce says, "I can't believe you're not going to be in that match with me," and Billie Kay said, "I know."
Oh, I know.
I was dying. I literally watched that twice because Billie Kay was cracking me up.
They're so charming.
It's so funny. Like, they're legitimately funny. You don't get that very often. That's what the SmackDown women's locker room needs, is two people who have actual comedic chops.
Yeah.
Because man, that was funny stuff. Anyways, they were talking crap about Kairi Sane, the pirate gimmick. I'll be kind of honest, I was laughing at it because I kind of agree. I'm like, yeah, the pirate thing is kind of goofy. And then Kairi Sane comes around the corner and she points her elbow at Billie Kay freaks out. Oh my God, I love it.
I think she asked to conclude the segment, why'd she point her elbow at you?
Yeah, and then we find out next week they're going to fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I freaking love them. I think they're great. It's almost like these days I almost get kind of sad. I'm always like, man, this is so good. They're going to go to Maine and not be as good. I know, it kind of bums me out now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anyways, next up.
Main event.
Sanity versus the Authors of Pain. It's kind of weird, isn't it? That the Authors of Pain all of a sudden aren't being booked nearly as dominant as they were before.
I know. It kind of started with the DIY match. Mm-hmm. But then, they lost to Sanity. Mm-hmm. To the two smallest members of Sanity, Eric Young and Alexander Wolf.
Yeah.
Killian Dane wasn't directly involved in the match.
Right.
He did get involved, but he wasn't in the match.
Alexander Wolf's a big dude, and they book him pretty strong. He
looks small compared to the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, he does, but he was able to. God, what did he do? Oh, he German suplex one of them dudes, and it didn't look that hard.
I'll be honest. The highlight of any match with Sandy is if Alexander Wolf moshes,
and he did.
Yeah, he did.
It was great.
If he doesn't do that during the course of the match, I consider it a huge disappointment.
Big miss.
Yeah,
total miss.
Massive disappointment. Yeah. So it was a decent enough match, back and forth. Authors of Pain get the upper hand. Super Collider hit the last chapter, go for the pin.
Right.
Undisputed Era hits the ring, breaks the pinfall. Authors of Pain win by disqualification. Sandy retains the titles.
Yeah.
So they're all brawling. Killian Dane comes out, joins the fight. Undisputed Era lays him out too.
Here's the thing. I really liked, if Undisputed Era is going to be smaller than everybody, I really did like the fact that their, as you like to call it, their tactician skills,
yes,
in terms of using their numbers to overwhelm opponents,
yes,
I think was really, really well used in that scrum.
Yes, there was one spot I think where Adam Cole did a chop block on somebody, on a larger man, knocked him down.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you're correct.
That kind of stuff works really well.
Roderick Strong just kind of ambles out to the ring.
Well, yeah, because Undisputed Era have one of the Authors of Pain, I think, down, ready for and then Roderick Strong comes out, or vice versa.
Roderick Strong comes to the ring and puts on the armband, so they pick up one of the Authors of Pain guys. Say, all right, come on, be one of us, attack,
your final initiation.
Yeah,
you put on the armband, and then you prove it by attacking, being violent.
But instead, he was Roderick was violent against the Undisputed Era.
Yeah,
he attacked them,
attacked them all.
Authors of Pain and Roderick clear the ring. Adam Cole was the first out of the ring. He has the best fear face.
It was great. It's in the thumbnail of this episode.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So he was over by the commentary table just...
And kudos to the camera guys for picking that up and him being aware where they are because they got the perfect close-up on him.
Yeah, so
he was like...
He's eventually joined by Fish and O'Reilly. Roderick Strong throws the armband pretty much directly at Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Good aim.
Yeah.
And then Regal comes out and announces War Games.
Yeah. And the way he did it, he says, enough of this. He said there's only one match, brutal, and so brutal it hasn't been used in 20 years.
That can contain this chaos.
Thank you. They can contain this chaos. I can't really do screaming William Regal, but he's so effective when he's screaming.
Because it happens so rarely.
And he said, this match at NXT TAKEOVER Houston will be in 2 rings in one steel cage. And it'll be War Games.
Yay!
Yeah, yay.
That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah,
and then you have Sandy on the ramp, like celebrating.
Oh, super into it.
Yeah,
they're
were
digging
hype.
it. Yeah,
Undisputed Era.
They're freaking out.
They're pretty much pooping in their pants.
I like because it's Kyle O'Reilly and it's Redragon, and they're like sort of just freaking out, like pacing, and Adam Cole's just there still, like with his shocked look on his face, like, oh, this went south quick.
Yeah,
this was not a good idea.
Which has kind of happened the last couple of times Undisputed Era is attacked.
Yeah, I know.
That's been Adam Cole's face. Like, oh, this isn't going
I know.
exactly how
Oh, God, I did not think this was going to happen.
Oh, Karen says that they marked out hard at Full Sail.
Dude, it was freaking hardcore. Cool. Like, I even knew, like, you know, we get the spoilers from you guys when you're there, and so we knew about this, but the execution was so flippin' perfect. Man, Regal is great. And yeah, so Roderick Strong and Authors of Pain. So, yeah, Roderick Strong is totally turning on the Authors of Pain. That's totally going to happen. Like, come on. They give him the R-band. They commiserate kayfabe off camera. Hey, this is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. And then he turns.
Or do you think it's a possibility that Donovan Dijak will debut?
It'll be all of that.
Yeah, it should be all
I mean, they need, here's the thing. Undisputed Era needs a reason to exist at the level that they want them to exist at. If you have 5 men and one of those guys is like, 8 feet tall, Donovan Dijak, and you have Roderick Strong, then you are a dominant force.
Yeah, and if that happens, then the very next episode of NXT, you need to put Adam Cole on that mic.
Yeah, I know.
And give him 15 minutes, 10 minutes at least.
Yeah, he's not Enzo, dude. Come on, 10 minutes is good.
No, I think he could do a captivating 15 minutes.
Story time with Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Because the one promo he had was like a minute and a half.
Yeah, I know.
Give him some serious mic time.
I know, because
really go into what their plan is.
Authors of Pain, they're going up after Survivor Series.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. Because this does feel like
the culmination of their run.
Yeah,
kind of. Pretty much right before people leave, they just kind of... Asuka's the exception. Mm-hmm. They're booked a little weaker.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
They fulfilled the last of their obligations.
Yeah, you look at Bobby Roode. Literally.
On they go.
I will never forget that, dude. When he finally fought Roderick Strong at the end there, and Roderick Strong went over, as soon as the pinfall happened... You didn't see.
It was literally like Bobby Roode disappeared. It was like he teleported to SmackDown that day.
He did not show up on camera again. That was crazy.
Karen is correct. There's nothing left for Authors of Pain to do.
There's nothing left for them to do.
Nope. Let's answer some questions.
Sanity super over, huh?
Oh yeah.
Did you look at the thumbnail of my non-news?
I did. It's Ricochet.
It's Ricochet. The most chill Ricochet ever. Where are the questions?
On Patreon, man.
Oh yeah.
Andrew Mullen. Does Nikki Cross do the best character work in all of the WWE? She's in the top 5.
Top 5 for sure, man.
Definitely. Yeah, she's really good. She's all in, 100% committed to that character. And it's great. Fat Bastard Champ Alex Foster. As happy as I am, you guys, mainly Steve, love NXT. Excuse me.
I feel like it's a lot more predictable than the main roster, thanks to all the undefeated streaks. Do you agree?
I like that... a lot of the debuting wrestlers, they just have them lose immediately. Gets that out of the way.
Yeah. That's becoming unpredictable. That's because I never would have figured they'd job Leo Rush out immediately.
Yeah.
Same with Redragon.
We forgot to mention that they officially announced Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, they had a cool little promo for that. Yeah, that was neat. I think so. Generally, yeah, they've been following a certain formula in terms of the title stuff. You know, you don't get title changes at TV anymore because they did that back in the day. And so there is a level, you know, we know that Drew's probably going to beat Andrade Almas. And you can kind of predict a pattern. But after Drew, there's any number of, I mean, it could be Adam Cole. Excuse me. Could be Adam Cole. Could be Aleister Black. I mean, I don't, after that, I don't really know.
Yeah.
So,
and then once Ricochet comes,
I mean, you can kind of plot that on a main roster as well, though.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's any more predictable than main roster, to be honest with you. Karen, how would you rescue or resuscitate 205 Live? One suggestion: allow 205ers to frequent main roster feuds. You've always been a big proponent of that.
yeah, there should be a lot more crossover.
At this point, okay, so here's the thing. Evidently, it doesn't need rescuing. Creatively speaking, I think that my predilections lean towards, rebranding it. Like NXT's branding,
Yeah, it's really
is
good.
so good. It is the best branded show on freaking wrestling right now. It is so well branded. I think honestly, I mentioned this before, and if the ratings are fine, they're probably going to take it. If it's not broke, don't fix it approach.
Yeah.
But if it was my 205 Live,
We've talked about it a lot.
Nobody ever says that. Nobody comes to 205 Live and says, "This is my 205." Well,
Maybe they
Enzo
should.
kind of did, didn't he? He kind of did.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, he did.
He said he rescued it.
Yeah, but he didn't want to rebrand the show in his own image.
Yeah.
Which is what Bobby Roode had in mind for NXT.
Yeah. I just put it in an American Legion Hall. I put it in a small venue.
Yeah.
500 people, maybe 400 or whatever.
They shout out Manhattan Center.
Yeah, the Hammerstein Ballroom. Put it there. People would be going apeshit for those matches because the matches consistently are very good. And if you just transport those matches into a PWG size arena or venue rather, oh my God!
Let the wrestlers feed off the energy of the crowd.
The crowd would be nuts.
Yeah.
The crowd would be absolutely nuts. I understand why they're not doing that for
Financial reasons. Yes.
But oh my God! I mean, here's one thing to consider though, is I don't know how much you can sell those tickets for, but if it's a small enough venue, you might be able to do pretty good. I don't know.
I mean, tickets for Raw aren't cheap.
People are coming to SmackDown for SmackDown. Nobody's going to the arena for 205 Live.
Yeah. Although I can't wait till SmackDown comes to Sacramento because I want to experience 205 live firsthand.
Yeah.
And also see what the crowd is actually like in person versus
sure.
in the televised broadcast.
Yeah. I'll just show up for 205 Live.
There you go. In the dark match afterwards.
But no, I would redesign it. I would rebrand it. But that's my own personal design predilections. I'm just not a fan of purple and orange. And then put it in a small arena.
Official Fahad. Hey, friendos. Which independent wrestler do you want to see jump over NXT and go straight to main? Thanks. Ricochet.
At this point, it would pretty much just be Ricochet. I mean, Kenny Omega would,
If you consider him an independent wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't. But, I mean, for the sake of the question.
Yeah.
Ricochet up until recently kind of wasn't either. He was signed.
Not to New Japan. He was free.
He was a freelancer there?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go then. Indigo Dream Show Deontay Soigné, I think is his name.
Yeah.
I personally believe Johnny Gargano is NXT Championship material. Do you see him winning the NXT Championship this year? I don't. I think he was like NXT 2013 Championship material. Like he could have been a Sami Zayn guy. You know what I mean? These days, there's too much going on.
Yeah, I
there.
think he'll be groomed for this particular storyline with Ciampa.
Hey, you know
and
what?
then at 205 Live, he'll go.
You know what aesthetic I really loved is the DIY aesthetic. How it was like black, gray, and red.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're part of Raw, give it that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
Rebrand the entire 205 Live around Johnny Gargano.
Oh, I love,
he's the champion. Because he's a 205 Live champion for sure.
Yeah, the Tron they have above the ring at NXT. Gargano has that logo with like the winking face.
Yeah.
How they you like split the color phases.
Yeah, sure.
So it's kind of like a 3D type effect, or,
Yeah.
or a
That's
great. Rebrand the show like that.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That is beautiful. That is so good looking.
Yeah.
Rebrand a show like that. But Gargano, I see Gargano as a 205 Live champion for sure.
He's a guy that can bring much needed star power and in-ring technical skill to 205 Live. The combination of both.
Telling you, man.
That'd be great. Nemo, the Universal Kidney Punching Champion. When an NXT star gets called up to Maine, do you think it's better for them to have a surprise debut like Bobby Roode or have a few weeks of promos to build up hype like Asuka? Depends on the star. Asuka, I think it worked, although I wish they would have handled her actual debut match a little better. And I wish competitors in the women's division were a bit more fearful of her because of those promos.
The correct answer is surprise. That's, again, a personal predilection. I understand the appeal of the video things, but nothing will ever make you mark out more than when somebody just shows up. Oh, it's a thing of beauty, man. That's always been my favorite. But I get the appeal. I get the idea behind promos. You want people to tune in for it.
Yeah.
But in terms of these days, like generating buzz, you're at the store, you decided not to watch Raw tonight. You're on Twitter. Oh, let's go what's going on Raw. Oh, crap, that happened. Okay, let me run home.
I kind of wish that they had run those promos. They kind of split the difference with Asuka. Not necessarily announce when she's going to debut, but still run the promos.
Oh, yeah. It's coming. Cool. Is all you need.
Yeah. And then she shows up someday and then just destroys somebody.
Yeah.
That's how you make an impact. Mark of Steel, hey, friendos, is Kairi Sane a lock for the Women's Championship match at TakeOver, or could you see someone else pulling it out? Peyton Royce is Mark of Steel's dark horse. Yeah,
mine too. I kind of thought, I kind of had
She's either going to win or she's going to eat the pin.
Yeah, I know.
That's what it feels like.
Well, Kairi Sane's not eating the pin.
Nope.
Nikki Cross not eating the pin.
Nope.
And I don't feel like Ember Moon's not going to win, but I don't think she's going to eat the pin.
Nope.
If Peyton Royce wins, it's going to be over Ember Moon, though.
Yeah. Kairi Sane's not taking a pin.
No, that's not happening. Hideo Itami N. I have no actual question. I was just wondering if Steve can talk in his Maurice accent for a minute or two. She's not been on TV lately. She's not there. I'm very pregnant right now. I have a human being inside of me. It's very strange.
The Madcap Mr. Lipkin, would you rather have Gargano versus Ciampa be at a TakeOver or a main roster pay-per-view for the Cruiserweight title? Both. Have a loser leaves NXT match. Gargano loses, goes to 205 Live.
Ciampa follows him because he's Psycho Killer?
Yeah. And they have their eventual feud blow-off for the Cruiserweight title, and Johnny beats him.
It has to be a TakeOver.
No, yeah, the first match at TakeOver.
Ciampa's not going to be on 205 Live, dude.
He could. You never know.
It's not going to be on 205. Let's see here. I like this idea. Ben Kirkwood, do you think the 205 Live roster needs a gimmick match to make it interesting, kind of like the Ultimate X match? Yes, I think that they should have their own network specials, their own takeovers, if you will, to build to stuff and not just the afterthought matches on main roster.
How long have you been clamoring for a Cruiserweight title ladder match? It makes all the sense in the world.
It's too much sense. Way too much sense.
Do it.
Yeah, I know.
Elimination Chamber match with Cruiserweights.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great.
Come up with something new, man.
Yeah.
It's like a new match. We get NXT now has their own war games. Come up with something for the Cruiserweights.
What's something that WCW used to do? Doomsday Cage with the Cruiserweights. That's the 3 cages. One on top of the other, on top of the other.
Oh, that'd be terrifying. They'd be getting stupid on that. WCW didn't really do anything special with the Cruiserweights, did they?
No.
No. Yeah, I don't know, man. Swimming pool death match. Henry Harris, what are the chances Roderick Strong turns on Authors of Pain and joins the Undisputed Era?
75%.
Like 1,000,000%? Dude, it's all the percent. I will bet everything I have.
Everything?
All the money I have that exists on top of this table right here.
There's no money on this table.
I will give to you if it doesn't happen.
There's no money on this table.
I'm telling you, all the dollars I have on this table right here.
$0.
Do you know how much is in this trophy right here? There's always money in the banana stand.
Oh, okay.
One more question.
One more. Pick last question, Steve.
Okay. Oh, what a great question. Neil Bravefart Atchison. What's happening with the Bruiserweights, with the UK division? I have no idea. But Pete Dunne, the other day on the Twitter, posted 2 pictures of him with that beautiful UK title, and he was in an arcade. He was in, dang it, I wish I had this loaded up. I wish I knew this question was
I think
here.
I know he had a match against Wolfgang at the first European.
Yeah, they're
show.
at least they're putting him on the UK tour.
Yeah.
So that's good. But it was funny. He posted up 2 pictures. One was in front of like some docks, I think, in the UK, and then the other one was in like some empty arcade. And there was nobody else in the pictures. And I was like, what a great metaphor for the fact that he's cleaned out all 3 members of the Brit division.
I know.
Oh my, are the UK division?
It's a bummer, man.
What are you doing with this guy?
He's not doing anything. That's the problem.
Dude, I thought we were gonna get British Strong Style versus Undisputed Era.
That'd been great,
right?
Yeah. Didn't happen though.
What are you doing? Like, figure it out, Vince.
Make up your mind.
Have, I don't know who, maybe not Regal. I don't know. Have somebody tuned into the British scene. Say, here's a budget.
Does
do this?
What's his name? Robbie Brookside.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking
Still
him.
work at the
Yeah,
Performance
I
Center?
think
Performance
so.
Center?
Robbie,
Make him top producer on the show.
just do this. Just do it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
What the heck? Ugh, killing my soul, man.
Yeah,
You're
it's a
killing
bummer,
my
man.
soul with that stuff. They're so great. Anyways,
Anywho.
is that it for the show?
Yep.
All right. There's a little bit of music for you. Ooh, full screen too.
Yeah, look at that.
Anyways, that's it for the show. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.